Dr. Sundari applied Meta-Physicist Yogini dialogues existence flvr 1.1 collected dialogues and monologues, Dr. Sundari aligned International Edition, curated without reduction prepared for publication, original content preserved. Spelling and punctuation lightly corrected, headings and section markers added for reader navigation. Audio file name Dr. Sundari applied Meta-Physicist Yogini dialogues existence flvr 1.1 Disclaimer: this recording shares personal experiences and observations of deep meditation. It is not medical or therapeutic advice and is not a recommendation to practice. Listeners should exercise personal consent and professional guidance where appropriate. This is a metaphorical framework by Drive Sundari in metaphysics that blends physics imagery, photons, fields, gravity, with lived ritual. Treat field memory and sunlight feeding as poetic, phenomenological claims, powerful for meaning-making, but not literal scientific assertions about consciousness. Frame them as interpretive models, not empirical proofs that protect you from unnecessary scientific pushback while keeping the idea emotionally and philosophically rich. Deep meditation can be a process of self-unmaking, a slow release of the body into the field. I report outcomes so you can understand the territory. I do not promote or prescribe the practice. Keep your consent. Keep your life. Disclaimer over. Dialogue: my friend, you live because billions of others scaffold you, strangers, families, markets, histories. Imagine yourself not as a soul floating in abstraction, but as a particle with weight standing on a planet called Earth. Your body is mass, your interior is field memory, and the Earth is the stage. Mass, momentum, velocity, think of them as me, I, and outcome. The body's mass is me, the inner witness, the momentum of awareness, is I, the living result, the movement through life, is velocity. In the brain, neurons form continuous chain reactions that carry field memory. When the brain is active, the I is present. When the brain is irreversibly destroyed, the I as we know it has ceased to operate. The brain is a home, a server, consciousness is the running process on that server. We are patterns on a machine, luminous, fleeting, and real. My friend, my existence today is not an island. It is shaped by every person on Earth. Each day your awareness grows from contact, parents, neighbors, strangers, entire populations you never meet. You stand where you stand because of networks of people, languages, trades and histories that stretch far beyond your sight. Think of yourself as a particle on a planet. Your body is mass, your inner witness is field memory, the Earth is the stage that holds you. The close of civilization, borders, languages, religions, are patterns draped over that stage. But at the deepest level you are simply a particle living on Earth. You were born here, you live here, your life is woven into the total population. The inner witness, the I within me is not flesh. It is not bone, it is not blood. The I is awareness, the silent observer. And that silent observer, I call it God. Because my consciousness is not small. It is vast, unbounded, and it feels omnipresent. When you see yourself this way, many confusions fall away. Nationalism, petty divisions, old grudges, they shrink. You begin to act from a planetary perspective. What helps the whole lattice of life helps you. That realization is simple, radical, and urgently needed. When we look deeper, what is consciousness? It is not just thoughts, not just emotions. Consciousness is a memory of the field that exists before me, after me, around me. This field memory is constant, yet it is not personal. It belongs to all beings, all particles, all life. Your field memory meets my field memory. They recognize, they connect, they bind together. This binding is the feeling of unity, the experience of belonging to the cosmos. Borders, languages and religions are costumes draped on that stage. Underneath it all is your actual coordinate, latitude, longitude, magnetic field, local climate, neighbors, the precise place you breathe. When you think in coordinates, where am I, exactly? Everything becomes actionable. The regional magnetic field, the geology, the local economy, the neighbors on your street, they nudge your mind and shape your momentum. Align with your place. Ground your attention there. Work with the local lattice, and you turn planetary conditions into a canvas for life and livelihood. The planet gives you constraints, and inside constraints, creativity grows. My friend, we arrive and depart without asking. That is the fact of non-consent. What we can choose is how we live between these edges. Don't hoard for yourself only, let your work be a river that feeds others. Treat every promise as sacred. When you accept non-consent, you stop wasting breath and begin using it. That is dignity. The field memory has no calendar. It is not past. It is not future. It is not even the present as we measure with clocks. It is the exact moment, the pure frame of existence. In that moment, there is no yesterday, no tomorrow, only the pulse of now, and this pulse is timeless. This is why sages said God is eternal. They were speaking, unknowingly, about the field memory. My friend, I am the I am the me, I am the myself. The I is my inner light, unseen, untouched, unknown. The me is this body, this shell that society recognizes as male, female, partner, wife, widow, or bachelor. And the myself is the balance, the awareness, the alignment of these two. Now listen, when I am a bachelor, my me is free, independent, but society pushes me with pressure. When will you marry? When will you settle? The I is free, but the myself feels restless. When I marry, my me is bonded, recognized, celebrated. The I is still free, but it learns to align with another I, and myself becomes a harmony, a fusion, a continuity of family and lineage. But when death or divorce comes, when I become a widow or a widow, society throws a shadow on my me. The body is labeled as lesser, incomplete, but my I is still radiant, still whole. It is the myself that suffers, that fractures, until reintegration happens. The 21st century crisis is simple: people see myself, then me, and almost never I. I is the witness inside the body, the field memory that makes you you. A body can be male while I feels female, or neither. Society demands they match. That demand makes shame and silence. Therapy helps because it translates I to me. Let's make that translation public. A family literacy, me equals body. I equals inner orientation. Myself equals their meeting point. Teach this at home and the crocodile of intoxication starves. This is existential arithmetic, mass, momentum, velocity, and an inner witness that refuses to be put in a box. I am not a preacher. I am not a prophet. I am a cartographer of the inner maps, a translator between fields. I have studied temples and texts, cathedrals and code. I have read the Bible as a machine reads symbols and the cross as a physics diagram. I have listened to fathers in confession, to scientists in laboratories, to poets in quiet rooms. 5,000 years of scattered wisdom became a problem set. I solved it, I summarized it, and I returned it as a tool. My method is simple: name the parts so they can speak to each other. I call them I, the inner witness; me, the body and the visible; myself, the living interface. Existence is not a sermon, it is an equation: mass, momentum, velocity, field, memory, resonance. Awareness is a measurable practice, compassion is its calibration. I reclaim Christian symbols as secular instruments of insight. The cross is not only a relic of history, it is a posture, a center of gravity where hands open to the world and the heart finds its axis. Confession is not ritual shame, it is language training, how to say the true thing so the world can hear. I break binaries. I refuse the lazy comfort of either/or. The soul is multidimensional, the body is material, identity can be layered and fluid. To be human is to carry many states at once, a proton in one moment, a photon the next. That tension is the engine of creativity, not its failure. I oppose two enemies, silence and surrender. Silence kills insight, surrender kills freedom. We will not hide behind rights or hashtags. We will name the confusion, measure its patterns, and teach families how to listen. Mirror practice, roleplay, simple language, these are the crafts of my workshop. I stand for a new public faith, reason that bows to tenderness, ritual that respects the individual, science that admits mystery, mysticism that takes a testable form. I speak to those who live in cities of steel and servers and still crave an inner altar. I speak to parents who wish to raise children who know themselves, to young people who want sobriety of mind, to seekers who will not trade clarity for comfort. I am inside the body. Me is I with the body. Myself is my awareness of my existence. We will not hide the I. We will teach its language. We will make households into laboratories of kindness, and cities into workshops of wisdom. We will live as light, with mass, with momentum, with velocity, and with eyes open. This is why civilizations created their customs. Some allowed multiple marriages, so no widow would live in the shadow. Some gave remarriage, so the dignity of a woman could be restored. Some built rituals, laws, or religions, because they all understood, if myself is broken, the family breaks. If families break, society collapses. Do you see, my friend? Marriage and widowhood, bachelorhood and love, they are not accidents. They are mirrors of the same eternal arithmetic, I, me, and myself. Why do we feel drawn to each other? Why does love, empathy, or even conflict feel so magnetic? Because field memories are always seeking other field memories. God within me is in dialogue with God within you. When we talk, when we listen, it is not only our mouths and ears, it is field memory recognizing itself. This recognition is what religions called prayer. But prayer is not weakness. Prayer is simply the alignment of one field memory with another, practical meaning. So what does this mean for you, for me, for humanity? It means we are not alone. We are not isolated eyes drifting in meaningless biology. We are field memories, woven into a cosmic fabric. Your awareness matters. Your awareness expands the intelligence of the field itself. When you sharpen your awareness, the whole field sharpens. When you dull it, the whole field dulls. This is why awareness is sacred. This is why awareness is God. Closing revelation. My friend, the God you have been searching for outside, in scriptures, in temples, in distant heavens. That God has always been inside. Inside your awareness, inside your memory, inside the field of your existence. Field memory is God. God is the witness, the omnipresence, the timeless pulse at the center of your being. This is not belief. This is direct recognition. This is the science and the poetry of existence. When I and me are aligned, myself is strong. When I and me are misaligned, myself collapses into despair, into confusion, even into intoxication. This is why people drink. This is why they take substances, because they cannot explain the pain of their I to another I. But if society gives dignity, if family gives acceptance, if culture gives harmony, then the myself of every person shines like a field of light. And when all those myselfs shine together, my friend, we call it civilization. So remember, bachelor, partner, wife, widow, lover, These are not just social labels. They are existential stages of the human field memory. They are how our souls, our bodies, our awareness, play in the great dance of existence. I am the I am the me, I am the myself. And together, we are the field of humanity. My friend, every human carries enormous energy, not the literal explosive kind, but a stored potential of attention, impulse and pattern. If fully converted, a body's mass contains mind-boggling jewels. Einstein showed that. You propose, what if we learn an inner fusion, a cohering of attention, body and field, so that this latent energy produces insight, will and effective action? Think of money as a kind of social time. If Einstein gave us E=mc², read it poetically for our era. Economic energy mass measured in currency times velocity of exchange squared. Currency flows, accelerates, stalls, and in dense societies the speed and volume of that flow become the clock that measures collective activity. We already pay money to buy time and spend time to make money. In that sense, currency functions as a unit of social time. For the 21st century, understanding social physics means understanding money flow, currency as a metric of temporal power and a transformation unit for attention, production, and even consciousness. I am inside the body. Me is I with my body. Myself is my awareness of my existence. So with I as a substance with the body, I am like Christian. And with my existence is my Radha, my Mahamaya, my soulmate. I am not married. I cannot be married, and I cannot be owned by anybody. Only my existence can own me, and I can own only my existence. I, me, myself, existence, field, existence, field. This is the binary combination of life. The lesser the binary, the lesser the intellect. The higher the binary, the higher the intellect. I tell you, the mass of you and the momentum of you creates the velocity that controls your life. Different velocities, different decay models, different destinies. Protons and neutrons are the players behind the stage. Electrons and their decay are the actors in front of the audience. And the audience mistakes decay for existence. But decay only shows how long the play lasts. To love somebody is to worship somebody. To worship is to leave somebody. To leave is to remove yourself, and that is suicide. So love is suicide, and suicide is love. Instead, love the outcomes. Love the life. Do not love the suicide in it. I, me, and myself, in reverse, myself, me, and I. People see myself first. People see me second. People rarely see the I at all. Because I cannot be touched, cannot be fully explained. This is the existential crisis of the 21st century. We cannot talk at the level of the soul, even with those closest to us. Psychotherapy today aligns I and me. The therapist acts as witness, a unifier. That is why we feel better, because someone helps us balance I, me, and myself. But machines cannot process our I. They can compute, but not comprehend. Human life needs an I system, an inner processor of its own awareness. Now, my friend, let me speak of death. People say cremation is liberation and burial is not. This is a false division. Cremation is transformation. Fire returns the body quickly to elements. Burial is continuity. Earth preserves the lineage, the DNA, the record of ancestry. Neither is higher, neither is lower. Both are rituals of dignity. And let me confess, if my own mother were to die, cremating her would feel like violence, a sudden wound. But burying her would feel like allowing her to rest, to stay close, to be near in the soil. So liberation is not about fire or earth. Liberation is about how the living carry the memory of the dead. Ritual is for the living, to heal, to accept, to continue. The I, the me, the myself becomes even more confusing with gender. The body has binaries, but the soul has dimensions. Inside, orientation shifts like particles in physics. Outside, Society insists on binaries, but mentally we are like protons, shifting, changing, vibrating between phases. This is why LGBTQ existence must be honored, not as anomaly, but as multidimensional truth. And so, my friend, we return to the great question: I, me, myself, what are we? We are light. We are the transformation of light through mass and momentum. We are psychology within biology, and chemistry within physics. We are chain reactions wrapped in flesh. Our confusion drives us to intoxications. Cocaine, drugs, substances, these are escapes for the unexpressed I. If we raise awareness, if we explain I to me, and me to I, then the young will not need intoxications. They will stand confident, self-aware, liberated without chemicals. The 21st century is not merely nuclear, not merely digital. It is the century of I, me, and myself. It is the age of field memory, consciousness, and awareness. Einstein gave us E=mc². Now translate it as a metaphor. Economic energy is mass in currency multiplied by the square of money velocity, how fast money circulates. In dense societies that circulation becomes the clock. Money buys time, time creates money. So currency is not just exchange, it is a temporal unit. The real physics of our century is social physics, money as time, and velocity as the accelerator of civilization. Think of it as internal fusion. The I, attention, ignites the brain's neuronal fires, the brain coordinates the body channels momentum into behavior. As that inner fusion strengthens, your sortedness, clarity, discipline, skill, amplifies outward effects, work goes faster, money flows quicker, life's velocity increases. Mass is the basic unit, momentum is the organized push, velocity is the living outcome. Master those and you convert inner joules into outer change. My friend, my friend, my friend. We live on the surface of the earth, a thin skin of life on a vast, indifferent planet. I live here, you live here. Yet the deepest truth is this: our presence here is not a signed contract. We arrive without asking, we live without perfect choice, and we depart without asking. This is the logic of non-consent. Non-consent is not a punishment. It is a fact of form. The body is a borrowed vehicle, the life that carries you was not requested by you. You did not elect to be born into these circumstances, and you cannot decide the hour of your departure. Money, property, reputation, they remain in the marketplace after you leave. They do not travel with you. They are tools for those who stay. So how do we live meaningfully inside this non-consent? First, recognize the limit. Knowing that you cannot extend life at will should not shrink your courage, it should sharpen your focus. Second, reframe wealth. If accumulation will outlive you, let accumulation be a river, not a tomb. Build systems that outflow, teachings, recordings, institutions, seeds, things that continue to serve when your breath has ceased. Third, practice dignity toward the inevitability. Accept non-consent as the grammar of existence, and speak your sentences accordingly. When you know your time is given, every commitment becomes sacred, every I will becomes a vow worth keeping. This is how you create inner gravity, honor in thought and action, and this is how your fleeting life becomes meaningful to others. Finally, remember, non-consent does not rob you of choice inside the moment. You cannot choose birth or death, but you can choose how you spend the breath between them. Invest your hours into things that multiply: attention, teaching, presence. Let your life be a conduit, receive from earth, return to earth, and leave behind a field that feeds others. End of curated edition, content preserved, structure enhanced. Thanks for listening. This audio dialogue will end here now.